My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. To support this YouTube channel, go to my Patreon link below in the description section. Subscribe to this channel right now. Click the notifications bell. Make sure you get all the notifications. We are approaching 105,000 subscribers. We're literally on our way to 200,000, and it's because of you. I want to thank you for your support. My books are below. You can find me on Minds, Vimeo, Steemit, Gab, BitChute. Minds, Vimeo, Steemit, Gab, BitChute. Those are great platforms. Check them out. Grassley Graham uncover unusual email sent by Susan Rice to herself on President Trump's inauguration day. This is from Chuck Grassley, United States Senator for Iowa, his website. I will put the link below. This is so bizarre. Every single day we find something that is just so bizarre and either outlandish or groundbreaking or something that exposes the amount of corruption within President Obama's administration. From an FBI bribery and racketeering scandal that took place while the uranium deal was going down, while cash flowed to the Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium deal. Then we find out that the FISA memo was based on a fake news dossier compiled by Cody Shearer, Sidney Blumenthal, and Christopher Steele. And then we find out the next element to the FISA warrant was a drunken conversation between Alexander Dumbo Downer, the Australian ambassador, and George Papadopoulos. Gossip, hearsay, innuendo, that's enough for the conspiracy theorists who believe in Trump Russia. Actual evidence and fact regarding the 110 emails that Clinton deliberately transferred that were classified from the start, that's just not enough for people. And that's actually James Comey's words. He listed all the crimes. We can go on forever about the litany or the mountain of evidence of Clinton's crimes and how she got away with them. Gossip is enough to indict Trump in the public, well, not in the public opinion, in the opinion of Democrats. But I'll read you. This is Susan Rice, who unmasked names illegally. She had no business unmasking names, just like the FBI had no business, and the CIA, we find out today, had no business utilizing the Steele dossier. Why one would trust the CIA when they even spied on Obama's Senate or on Congress, on the Senate during the Obama administration, is beyond me. The CIA gets paid to lie all the time. That's what they do. That's what spy agencies do. They spy and they lie. And to think that John Brennan wouldn't have known exactly what James Comey knows or knew, or the DOJ knew, is absolutely absurd. That's absurd. The second the FBI knows anything, the CIA and the NSA know. Grassley Graham uncover unusual memo sent by Susan Rice to herself on President Trump's inauguration day. As part of their continued effort to conduct oversight of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice, Chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee Chuck Grassley, and Chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee on Crime and Terrorism Lindsey Graham discovered a partially unclassified email sent by President Obama's National Security Advisor Susan Rice to herself on January 20, 2017, President Trump's inauguration day. Ambassador Rice appears to have used this email to document on January 5, 2017, Oval Office meeting between President Obama, former FBI Director James Comey, and former Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates regarding Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. In particular, Ambassador Rice wrote, President Obama began the conversation by stressing his continued commitment to ensuring that every aspect of the issue is handled by the intelligence and law enforcement communities, quote, by the book. The president stressed he is not asking about initiating or instructing anything from a law enforcement perspective. He reiterated that our law enforcement team needs to proceed as it normally would by the book. This is very similar to a person engaging in criminal activity, writing in a journal. I just want to let everybody know we're not engaging in criminal activity. We never contracted out Cody Shearer and Sidney Blumenthal to write a dossier which the FBI would then use, in addition to Christopher Steele, an MI6 agent, to compile unverified salacious dossiers where prostitutes pee on hotel room beds. We never wrote this. Grassley and Graham were struck by the context and timing of this email and sent a follow-up letter to Ambassador Rice. The letter reads in part, "It strikes us as odd among your activities in the final moments. On the final day of the Obama administration, you would feel the need to send yourself such an unusual purporting, such an unusual email purporting to document a conversation involving President Obama and his interactions with the FBI regarding the Trump-Russia investigation. In addition, despite your claim that President Obama repeatedly told Mr. Comey to proceed by the book, substantial questions have arisen about whether officials at the FBI, as well as the Department of Justice and State Department, actually did proceed by the book." This is hilarious. This is enough for the YouTube pundits and the CNNs and Washington Posts and MSNBCs of the world to say, "Oh, good. You see, she even documented this. It's written in writing. Obama said do things by the book, even though he knew of the emails. September 2nd, before September, the FBI had Weiner's laptop." This is a profanity alert. This is a profanity alert. I want to let everybody know that I cried when Obama won in 2008. It was tears of joy. Okay? I voted for him twice. All right? I'm a lifelong Democrat, and during the election, when I was saying that Clinton was going to get indicted, which I was right on that, even Peter Strzok knew she was going to get indicted. That's why he removed 5 references to gross negligence. She was going to get indicted. How was I to know there was so much corruption in the FBI? I thought they were going to do their job. Anyway, I had no idea that President Obama, the person I viewed to be this brilliant hope and change person, knew that Anthony Weiner's fucking dick photos were stored alongside Hillary Clinton's classified emails on a laptop Weiner used to sext people of all ages. Obama knew of the laptop because on September 2nd, Vox and Judd Legum and Ezra Klein and everybody, all the brainwashed supporters, when September 2nd, that text, the second in command in counterintelligence in the FBI, I already did a video on this, when he says the president wants to know everything we're doing. What's everything? Everything is a laptop that they were investigating that, oh, by the way, happened to have, this is a profanity alert, Anthony Weiner's fucking dick photos, along with classified intelligence. Do you understand, YouTube channels and Rachel Maddow and everybody who can't even fathom Obama doing anything wrong? When you store classified intelligence along with Anthony Weiner's photos of his penis, that is a threat to national security, because the laptop is not meant to hold classified intelligence. That being said, why would this email be written? Give me your thoughts below. And then they write a letter. Did you, dear Ambassador Rice, this is from the letter, the Senate Judiciary Committee has a constitutional duty to conduct oversight. In this email to yourself, you purport to document a meeting that had taken place more than 2 weeks before on January 5th. Why would, and then the meeting reportedly included a discussion of the Steele dossier and the, oh, well, there you go. The meeting reportedly included a discussion of the Steele dossier and the FBI's investigation of its claim. President Obama began the conversation by stressing his continued commitment to ensuring that every aspect is handled by the book. Okay. The meeting reportedly included a discussion of the Steele dossier. The next part of your email remains classified. Gee, I wonder why. Did you send the email attachment did you send the email attached to this letter to yourself? When did you first become aware of the FBI's investigation to allegations of collusion between Trump, alleged collusion between Trump and Russia? When did you become aware of any surveillance activities, including FISA applications? Well, I mean, they can simply ask. She uncovered names. She unmasked names. When did you become aware of surveillance activities? Did anyone instruct, request, suggest, or simply or imply that you should send yourself the affirmation inauguration day email memorializing President Obama's meeting with Mr. Comey? These people are so stupid. Whether it's Clinton or Bill or Uma or Anthony Weiner, even President Obama, everybody knows, anyone who with any knowledge about this, anyone with any true knowledge about this, and knowledge of how power is wielded, knows that President Obama knew everything. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment. During the meeting, did Mr. Comey describe the status of the FBI's relationship with Mr. Steele? When did you become aware of the allegations made by Mr. Steele? When and how did you first become aware of the Clinton campaign the Democratic National Committee funded Mr. Steele's effort? Why would the DOJ and FBI know, but not the CIA and not President Obama's one-time national security advisor, Susan Rice? Susan Rice apparently was extremely close to President Obama, and President Obama knew of Hillary Clinton's server. That was a lie also. We know from WikiLeaks emails, the Podesta emails. Cheryl Mills states that Obama knows of the server. Did President Obama have any other meetings with Mr. Comey, Ms. Yates, and other government officials about the FBI's investigation into allegations of collusion? This is all nonsense. How did you first become aware of the allegations made by Christopher Steele? So, you can't... This is... If it's redacted, which is really funny because Grassley and Graham very likely have the security clearance to read the redacted portion of whatever she wants hidden, Susan Rice. But the real question is, why would you write a letter to yourself stating that Obama was completely above board and he did nothing wrong and he wanted and that's enough? See, because this is a letter to Vox or the New York Times or the Washington Post. So they could say, you see, it was documented. But everything else, I mean, you talk about smoke with President Trump, with President Trump. Where's the evidence? This is collusion at a grand scale, from the FBI, Peter Strzok, saying he hates Trump, to the insurance policy they talked about, to the fact that he removed 5 references to gross negligence, to the fact that Bill Priestap, the number 1, and Peter Strzok, the number 2, counterintelligence officers, meaning they know what enemy or allied intelligence agencies are doing at all times. Hopefully, that's their counterintelligence. They're supposed to know what the other intelligence agencies are doing. So GCHQ was spying on Trump since 2015, and the FBI was privy to all of that information, and yet Peter Strzok said, "Oh, there's no there regarding Trump Russia." They just hated Trump. This is a microcosm of a dysfunctional high school cafeteria, where you have kids, and we've all experienced this in high school or middle school or elementary school. There are certain kids, certain contemporaries, and this is a profanity alert, who are assholes. And these assholes hang out with other assholes. And what they do is they join forces and they try to either destroy somebody or hurt somebody or gang up on somebody. And the people who survive or succeed or, defeat whatever the gossip, or the people who just don't care, or they find out, or they rise above it. But in politics, it's Trump. What Trump is doing is slowly peeling the layers of all the corruption. So now this letter from Susan Rice this email from Susan Rice to herself, talking about a meeting with the FBI, when the FBI, a month after, during that time, Comey gave the Steele dossier to both Trump and Obama. So she couldn't have not been talking about the Steele dossier in that letter. So basically, 14 minutes into this thing, 15 minutes, you finally get the actual, like, kind of put two and two together. So what they did, James Comey, was insidious. They used, President Obama and Comey used the Trump dossier, the Steele dossier, and said, well, you know what? These are unverified, but here you go. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, we're after you, we're on you, and you have to now prove that this is not true. So this is unprecedented in U.S. history. Unprecedented. And I would love to debate anyone on this, but nobody will debate me on Trump Russia. And this is not like a TYT debate where, like, slowly people are leaving the cult. Really? There's life? There's life outside of the network? Yeah, there's life. And Russia didn't interfere in the elections. You know, stop only watching certain YouTube channels that parrot CNN and MSNBC because they were wrong about the election. I was right about the election. And I was right about so many things. Doesn't matter. The point is, I was right about this. Trump Russia is complete nonsense. I was right that Bernie would have won a fair primary. I have the pulse of what's going on. And I'm not afraid to try to counter Democratic Party propaganda. At first, I did it because I thought, I was a progressive, and that was the label, and I thought that's what progressives do. They counter Democratic Party narratives. But what I saw, and why I no longer label myself progressive, is that actually people who are quote unquote liberal or progressive or whatever, generally a lot, I'm not saying all, I'm saying generally are easily manipulated by power. If you have a powerful Democratic message or party or a powerful fear-based narrative, if you don't vote Democrat, Trump will win. Well, how? This is a profanity alert. Well, how the fuck did that work? Did that work well for you? No. You don't like Trump. You think he's the worst ever. And I want to thank people. There are people on my channel who have been watching for a long time who just really don't like me, or at least don't like my message. I want to thank you for watching. But ever wonder why Democrats control Congress and the White House? Could it be that in 2015 I was right, that Clinton could not win? I was saying Clinton couldn't win in 2015, and I didn't need Russian Facebook ads or Russian bots on Twitter. So give me your thoughts below. Susan Rice, this is absolutely hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Writes a letter to herself that Obama isn't committing any crimes. What could be more incriminating? What could be more? I am not driving the getaway car right now. This is not happening. I do not have a duffel bag full of cash. That's not happening. Signed, person who did not rob a bank. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please tell your friends about this channel. Let's get to 200,000. Thank you so much for listening.